I am at Greenville College in Illinois with the faculty advisor for the Agape Fest. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Agape Fest is just one of these wonderful, in fact really unique types of Christian festival. It's the only Christian festival in the whole country that's run by students. And we want to do that as a university because we recognize that the next generation, our generation, young kids, my kids, are not going to respond to Christ through traditional church music. We need to reach them where they are with this incredible transformation gospel that we have in Jesus Christ. I mean, it is the hope that we have, and Christian music is a way that we can just communicate that to a new generation. It has to be different. And so one of the things we're really interested to do at the festival is some of this crossover music. People who are just committed to Christ but can reach an unchurched generation. So we have a lot of kids who are brought by their youth group friends who have never been to a Christian event, would never think of going inside a church, and will come here and will hear not just the music but messages. They'll work with youth group leaders. They're out of their normal comfort zone, and we want them to find Christ because he really is the sure foundation that we have.
So break it down for me. What exactly is Agape Fest for someone who has no idea?
Great. Well, Agape Fest is 34 years old, so next year is our 35th anniversary. It's a ministry of Greenville College, and it's the largest co-curriculum project that we have. So about 200 students are working on the project. They help us with the band selection. So we've set a budget, and they will try and select among potential artists where we might put together the whole roster. They'll work on working with merchants here so that we can have another income stream. They work with youth groups so that it can be a time of refreshment for youth leaders. Often youth leaders will come with a large youth group, and we want to feed back into them. They give the whole year, so we want to have resources to help them to become more effective as youth group leaders. We have our own majors here, so we have a music business program. So our music business students are working on the financials of this. We have our marketing students who are helping with the marketing of the festival. We have our media promotions people who are working with media companies to try and get the message. We have our contemporary Christian music program who are doing the sound reinforcement of second stage. So they're learning to put together a festival.
So how many people come to this type of festival? Does it happen once a year?
It happens once a year, around about, it's actually the first festival on the festival scene, around the first weekend of March every year. And we would have between 4,000 and 5,000 people coming.
Wow.
Some would camp, some would be just come for the day, some would come for the 2 days. What we like is that it's just a safe environment. I mean, families, you'll see as young kids come, older people come, and they find it a safe environment. They come back year and year again. The vendors come back year and year again because they find us just a good place of ministry.
So I see everyone here with their backpacks and their tents and their sleeping bags. I mean, they come out here and they camp in the morning before the show?
Yeah, they would have arrived this afternoon. They've set up camp. We have quite a number of people who camp. They just love it. And really youth groups like it because it's a way to really get into the hearts and minds of kids. You see kids differently when they're tired, and sometimes the veneer that we put on ourselves when we're tired starts to crack a little bit, and it gives the youth group leaders an opportunity to really talk one-on-one, say, look, what's going on in your life?
Right.
And it gives them that opportunity to find those chinks that Christ can sneak through into people's lives, and that's really exciting.
That's what it's all about.
It really is.
So how many bands do you guys have?
We have 15 on the main stage going through, and then we have another 7 or 8 on our second stage.
Wow.
We also have a Battle of the Bands, which is co-sponsored by Word Records. So all of the Christian festivals work together, and the winner of the Battle of the Bands go into competition, and the winner of those competitions, they get a sponsorship by Word Records. Word Records help them put together a deal.
That's great.
So it's one of the nice things that we have.
Now, for someone who doesn't live in this area, why should they travel all the way over here in the spring, maybe for their spring break, to come and check you guys out? What makes you so special compared to any other festival?
I think what makes us so special is that we're student run. So it's really interesting, and you'll find this when you talk to the artists. The artists will notice a really different atmosphere here to many of the professionally run festivals, because we see it as a learning experience. So the artists will spend time with our students, helping them to develop their technique in stage management, in lighting, in sound reinforcement.
They do everything. They set up the stage, and wow.
I mean, we obviously franchise out some of the professional stage, but our students work with all of that, and it's just a learning environment. I think also it's a time where fans can get to meet the bands. We have autograph tents going on all of the time. And you'll find the artists walking around and people will just go up to them and talk to them. So it's a kind of very much a family atmosphere, which is a very different to the type of event you might get in an arena,
right.
which is probably more familiar to you over on the East Coast. So this is Southern Illinois hospitality.
So how can someone learn about the festival? Is there a website that
the website would be agapefest.com.
Okay.
And that will bring you onto the website that's updated. So we have our students, we have a whole bunch of students who are updating Twitter all the time. They're going around taking photographs to update to some of the people who are not able to come, to get a flavor of what's going on in the festival all the time. And other people are updating MySpace, on Facebook, all of the technologies that our target audience are trying to reach. I mean, really our demographic is high school kids and junior high, the next generation of leaders that we want to impact so that they become on fire for Jesus Christ and they have tools to reach their generation. I mean, that's what we're about. And that's what we're about as a college as well. That's what we're trying to do to be relevant to today's generation.
Are there any plans to maybe take this festival on a tour?
I don't think so, really, because it's so student-run, so it's difficult to take 200 students on a tour. So at the moment we're pretty much located in the festival. But our bands, I mean, we have bands who are signed. We have a contemporary Christian music program. We have bands who are signed really every year by some of the labels. I mean, one of our faculty, for example, is Jorge Casas, who's the band leader for Gloria Estefan. So he'll be traveling around doing concerts with her in Rome or wherever, and then fly back to work with our bands. One of our other faculty is David Ray. I mean, he represents, he does Snoop Dogg. He does all the legal work for Snoop Dogg at the moment. Not that he's into his personal life, but that's the kind of caliber that he is. During the Christmas, he did all of Paul McCartney's digital rights in China. So we have top people who are trying to work with our students so that they become really relevant to this generation. And that's really exciting. Yeah, and I mean, certainly when I came here from Europe, I'd never heard of Greenville, Illinois. I couldn't find it on a map. But what attracted me to come from one of the top 40 universities in the world is this very thing that they've got a way to reach my children's age. You know, and as a father, I want them to know Christ. Not just to know him, but to be absolutely sold out for who he is. And contemporary Christian music is one of the ways that will impact them in a way that so often our sermons really don't touch. And so it's a really culturally relevant type of deal.
And it's so hands-on too in the community, and like you mentioned before with the youth groups.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we work with, for example, is a company known as Interlink, that they will work with a lot of the artists, put together video footage from the artists, and the artists will then come and work with our youth group leaders at the festival to say, these are our songs, these are the types of ways you could talk to your youth groups about them. This is why we wrote these particular lyrics. This is what we were trying to communicate. Here's some teaching resources that you could use. So, you know, as you break up your youth groups, it's not just, let's read the Bible. Another week we might say, okay, this is a song that's #1 in the Christian charts. Let's talk about it. What does that mean? How could you engage your friends with something like that? And particularly with bands such as Skillet at the moment, who are just really crossing over and doing so well in the secular area. Christians are just unashamed to say, these are the bands I like. This is what these bands stand for. This is what they're trying to do. I mean, that's such a great resource for us. And, you know, the church has cried out for events such as this because we make an impact.